We had interviewed you a couple times before for my other project, so you always bring a wealth of knowledge with your very eclectic and a lot of specialized knowledge in a lot of different areas. And this being the Neurometabolic Summit, we want to kind of have you cover the area of vagus nerve, which is an area that you're very much an expert in. So talk to our audience about what is the vagus nerve? I think a lot of people kind of have an idea what it is, but give us a more detailed description of what it is, and more importantly, what does it do for us on a day-to-day basis to help us live well?
Of course. So, vagus nerve, a lot of people probably by now would have heard it. I did an entire summit on the vagus nerve, and you were obviously part of it. So yes, we covered a lot of ground there, so people may have seen some of it. Basically, we're talking about the longest nerve of the autonomic nervous systems. It's a 10th cranial nerve, and what is so special about it is that it connects the brainstem to pretty much every organ in your chest and abdominal cavity. This is part, by the way, of the brain-gut-brain connection, which is the two-way highway. And why this is so important is when the vagus nerve is not working properly. So what we call it is when you don't have good vagal tone, and so the nerve is just sort of not engaging readily when it's supposed to. Then, because of that connection to organs such as your lungs, your heart, your gut, your spleen, your pretty much, like I said, most of those organs that we have in the chest and right here in the lower abdomen, liver, including all of that, then you're going to end up sooner or later with the function of those organs being compromised. And a lot of people will, as you will know, and the viewers will know, a lot of people chase a lot of symptoms, and they try and go one rabbit hole and another rabbit hole, and they chase that test result and that symptom and the other symptom. But oftentimes, when you look at all of the symptoms that people are trying to fix, you realize that actually all of those have one common denominator, and that one common denominator is poor vagus nerve function. So the vagus nerve, I said, it's the longest nerve of the autonomic nervous system. And so just a reminder, maybe here, that our nervous system consists of two main parts: it's the central nervous system, so brain and spinal cord, and then the peripheral nervous system. And within the peripheral nervous system, we've got our somatic and autonomic. So somatic is to do with just basically muscular control, whereas autonomic nervous system, we've got several branches here. So people will be familiar with fight or flight response. So we've got our sympathetic branch. And then we've got our rest and digest. That's the ventral vagus nerve. And then we also have what we call freeze response, which is the older part of the vagus nerve, because vagus nerve has got two branches. And the dorsal vagus complex is that sort of the primal, the older part of the vagus nerve. And then we've got our rest and digest, which is also known as our social nervous system, because when we come in contact with people and we want to assess whether they may be a threat to us or not, we engage that part of the nervous system. If that doesn't work properly, by the way, we can often misjudge. So people will often jump to conclusions and they say, oh, this person looked at me the wrong way and this and that. But actually, oftentimes, this is related to early trauma and various layers of it, various emotional triggers, and the fact that the vagus nerve is not engaging properly. And suddenly our social interactions are completely off because we are not able to judge people's intentions or what they're bringing into our lives correctly. And so, as you can already see, so we've got this impact on the physical body through the connection with all these organs, but there's definitely also a massive implication for our mental health, for our social interactions. So there's a lot going on there.